There's a place on Earth where light dies. Pressure crushes steel, and sound travels forever. Tonight, we'll listen to it. This is not a creepypasta. This is not a reenactment. These are real recordings from the bottom of the sea. And if you're wearing headphones, tighten them. The ocean covers more than 70% of the planet. We have explored a fraction. Mountains taller than Everest, buried. Canyons deeper than nightmares, silent. Or so we thought. During the Cold War, we wired the oceans with hydrophones, underwater microphones, to listen for submarines. But the ocean was listening back, and sometimes it answered. Metallic rings where no machine should be. Siren-like choruses that return year after year. A moan that sounded human. We'll climb from strange to horrifying. From maybe a whale to something we were never meant to hear. You think you know fear? You haven't heard the ocean. In 2014, in the Mariana Trench, the deepest place on Earth, almost 7 miles straight down, hydrophones picked up something strange. It wasn't a whale song. It wasn't an earthquake. It wasn't a submarine. Scientists described it as a low rumble followed by a sharp, metallic vibration, almost like an alarm going off in the blackness. They named it biotwang. The official theory, that it was a bride's wail, experimenting with a call never heard before. But if that's true, then why has it never been recorded again? Why has no other whale been caught making the same noise? Online, speculation grew darker. Some said it sounded like machinery, like a broken signal beacon still pulsing in the trench. Others whispered about alien technology, or something ancient that wasn't supposed to be disturbed. Because when you listen closely, it doesn't sound alive. It sounds mechanical, manufactured, like a machine left running in a place where no machine should exist. Maybe it was just a whale, or maybe the deepest place on Earth is not empty. In 1997, in the waters near the Mariana Trench, one of the most mysterious sounds in ocean history was recorded. It was unlike biotwang, which repeated. This sound happened only once, a single moment captured by only one hydrophone. Scientists named it the whistle. It was high-pitched, sharp, and disturbingly short. Too short for an earthquake, too sharp for volcanic activity, and far too unusual for any known whale or dolphin call. The fact that it was heard only once makes it even more unsettling. Nature tends to repeat itself. Animals call it patterns. Volcanoes erupt in sequences. But the whistle? It appeared, and then vanished forever. Some suggested it could have been an accident of the equipment, a glitch. But NOAA confirmed the hydrophone was working perfectly. Others whispered a darker theory, that it wasn't a natural sound at all, that it was a signal sent out deliberately. One transmission, one message, not meant for us. And if that's the case, then what, or who, was it meant for? The whistle remains unexplained, a voice in the abyss that spoke once and then went silent. Some ocean sounds happen once and are never heard again, but others, they return, year after year. In 1991, hydrophones in the Pacific picked up a strange pattern, not random, not chaotic, a repeating series of rising and falling tones like a distorted siren. Scientists called it Upsweep. Unlike the whistle, this wasn't just one recording. Upsweep has been detected for over 30 years. What makes it stranger is its timing. The sound grows loudest during the spring and autumn. It doesn't appear randomly like volcanoes or earthquakes. It follows a kind of calendar. The most accepted theory is volcanic activity under the sea, but volcanic sounds are messy, uneven, and brutal. Upsweep is steady, rhythmic, predictable. It doesn't sound like chaos, it sounds like a pattern. Imagine something vast in the Pacific, repeating a signal every year as if calling out. Not for us, but for something else. And the most disturbing part, it hasn't stopped. Upsweep is still being recorded today. If it's natural, why is it so precise? And if it's not, then who or what is sending that signal through the sea? On March 1st, 1999, NOAA's hydrophones captured one of the strangest and most haunting ocean sounds ever recorded. It lasted about 15 seconds. It was deep, resonant, and unlike anything scientists had heard before. They named it Julia. Those who listened to the raw file said it didn't sound like geology, it didn't sound like shifting ice or volcanic activity. It sounded almost alive. Some compared it to the moan of a woman's voice, distorted, stretched out, echoing across the abyss. And then came the part that made Julia legendary. At the exact same time the sound was captured, a satellite overhead detected a massive, dark shadow moving through the water near the source of the recording. The official explanation? Probably ice. But ice doesn't moan. Ice doesn't echo across thousands of miles of ocean. And ice doesn't leave a shadow so enormous it can be picked up from space. Julia was heard once and never again. Maybe that's the most disturbing part. Some say it was just ice. Others believe it was something alive, something vast, something that groaned once in the darkness and then went silent. 2 years before Julia, another sound shook the scientific world. In 1997, NOAA hydrophones picked up a noise so loud it was detected across the entire Pacific Ocean, thousands of miles apart. The microphones all heard it. It was deep, rolling and powerful. a sound that seemed to rise out of the abyss like something massive exhaling. They named it the Bloop. At first, scientists wondered if it was an animal, but the scale made no sense. For the Bloop to be biological, the creature responsible would have to be larger than a blue whale, the biggest living creature we know of. Much larger. That single fact lit a fire across the internet. Forums speculated about prehistoric monsters. Newspapers called it proof of a giant sea creature. Some even connected it to Cthulhu, the cosmic entity said to sleep in the Pacific Ocean. Years later, NOAA gave a safer explanation. The sound likely came from massive chunks of ice cracking and shifting in Antarctica. But for many, the theory doesn't quite fit. Ice breaks, shatters and snaps. The Bloop? It rumbles. It resonates. And even now, people who've heard the unaltered recordings swear it doesn't sound like ice. It sounds like breath. Maybe it was ice, or maybe something vast is still moving in the deep, occasionally reminding us it's there. We wired the sea to catch our enemies. Instead, we recorded our nightmares. A metallic ring where there should be none. A whistle heard once and never again. A chorus that returns on a schedule. A voice that might have been seen from space. And a roar so vast, the only explanation that comforts us is ice. Maybe science will explain every one of them. Maybe. But explanations don't erase the feeling. The feeling that something moves under us. Something enormous. Something that sometimes speaks. If the ocean can speak, it can answer. And if it can answer, one day it will.